Greetings from Chicagoland. This is Munira, the CEO and founder of Kismet Ventures Inc. I am a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, and a John Maxwell certified coach. I have a segment on YouTube called Munira's Musings, and I am currently on a prowl to find people who are adding value to people and just doing stuff that instills value in people. And I expose them. I find them and I expose them and I promote them in my own way. And I'm hoping everybody that watches this video can subscribe to my channel and like the videos that I have. Today's guest is Lisa Soloway from Florida. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Munira. I'm so happy to be with you. You in Chicago, me in Florida. It's great.
This
Thank you very much for having me on your show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm very humbled and I'm very thankful that you took some time out of your busy schedule to come to this and improve our lives a little bit. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you again. I really appreciate that you took the time to invite me as well. And I'm happy to be here and be with you and your listeners. So I actually grew up in New England in Connecticut, the freezing cold Connecticut for about 6 months, and even sometimes in the winter. And I love Florida because I love the sunshine. It makes me feel really good and happy. I love the beach. We're one block to the beach. And I love the palm trees. I'll never forget the first time I came here. I was so excited because I love the palm trees. And so we actually moved here to Florida 3.5 years ago to support our son, who is an Air Force pararescueman. They're the ones who rescue people during wartime and also during hurricanes, tornadoes, things like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he is. So a pararescueman has to do everything all the other special forces do and be able to treat them medically until they can get them to a hospital. So we came here to support him and his family. I have 4 kids, 3 boys, and our daughter we adopted because pretty much men hormones on my husband's side of the family. And so, but I always wanted to adopt. So we adopted our daughter Tiffany at 8. She's now 24. And I love being able to collaborate with others. That's one of the things I really love to do. But I've been an entrepreneur for 30 years. So I did traditional business as well as I currently coach people to become an entrepreneur. So one of the ways that I add value to others is helping them start their own business. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Can you hear me okay? Okay, good. Wanted to make sure.
You were talking, so we could hear you talking.
Perfect. And so I love to help people really set their goals based on their dreams, help them really look very deeply at why they would want to start their own business. And then I just help them along the way through a home-based business model. And our home-based business model is a great company that's been around for 25 years. This has been our 25th year. And we offer services people need and use every day, such as home phone, business phone, cell phones. And one of the great things about our company, we have a Flash Wireless is our branded cell phone company, and we work with the largest carriers. And we are able, through a referral program, to help get our customers and our business partners free, yes, I said free cell phone service. So I love that. We also offer smart home technology and security, as well as credit card processing and energy, natural gas, electricity, and solar energy. So I love being able to help people create their own global company. We're in 25 countries. Under the umbrella of a large company that handles everything I didn't like about traditional business, having to deal with all the customers. And I had a childcare consulting company, and I owned and operated 3 childcare centers when I was raising my boys. And then I had a health and wellness business after that. I was a fitness coach, a yoga teacher, and I used to help people sweat in class. So, and then I was a wellness coach as well. I have a lot of coaching background and coaching training. So I brought that over to the home-based business, but I'm also a speaker. I love to be able to create value in people's lives. I really was very attracted to John Maxwell because he came and spoke at our company conventions. That's how I met John. And had a goal to become certified through him because I love his whole approach to leadership. I love his book. And I think you and I want to share that because we both invested to become coaches with John Maxwell. And I always start with 15 invaluable laws of growth because I think that's our foundation.
Yes.
So that's one of the things I really love to coach on. Intentional living, I love to coach on that. And you and I are both members of Women's Prosperity Network. And
Yes.
so I also became certified in One Philosophy because I'm very much a spiritual, faithful person, and I saw so much alignment with what I have learned in my spiritual journey. And so I was really excited to be able to represent Nancy's message of the One Philosophy. So I really look for opportunities to help people increase their income, make work. There are a lot of people who, kind of go through a transition. They no longer want to do what they've been doing. So I help them and I coach them along the way to success. So that's very exciting because you see yourself really kind of having an impact on people's lives. One of my business partners, she was 62 when we got started, and her home was in foreclosure. And through this opportunity, we were able to help her get her house out of foreclosure. And she actually, within a few years, she said, I'm making more than I make in my pension at an insurance company that I worked for a lot of years. And so that was exciting to hear from her as well. And she'll always say, I just so appreciate what you've done to change my life. She's now 68. She's like, if we didn't do this together, because I don't know where I'd be right now. So, those kinds of things really make what you do so worthwhile. It's not the money, it's the people that you can help create the life that they want and be able to help solve problems, right? As a business person, that's partly what we do is we help solve problems, right?
It's true. So when you bring people into your business, are they looking for an opportunity, or are they explain this telecommunications
Yes.
business?
So that's a really great question, Munira. It's sometimes they are looking for an opportunity, and sometimes they're not. But when I, ask people, based on our conversation, our relationship, and even some new people, based on the things that they say, I'll just ask, hey, are you open to looking at another way of making money in addition to what you're currently doing? Because a lot of people still have to work their jobs, and they just do this part-time, spare time, and we're able over time with a plan. Everything starts with a plan. First of all, you need to know why you want to do it, and it has to really touch you emotionally, because as you know and I know, having been businesswomen for a long time, there are always challenges and obstacles. So that why, your deep-rooted why, is going to help you get through the how and all those challenges and obstacles. And then we just, like I said before, we really sit down and we said, okay, how much time do you have? How much money do you want to make? And we come up with a game plan. And so that's, how we do it. It's one foot in front of the other, and I always tell the people that I work with and I coach, hey, if you're having a tough time, a tough day, give me a call. Let me help you through it.
Okay, so are you available to people?
So it's not like being school, it's about having people listen. Yeah, I can't hear
Go
you.
finish your thought. I think sometimes something's happening with the internet. So
Yeah, I think so too, which is rare, but it happens, right?
yeah,
Technology, you gotta love it. So,
no,
yeah.
you
So
your thought. Sorry.
in this business model, even though you're in business for yourself, you're not by yourself because it's team oriented. So you have people, in our team who care about your success. So I worked for the corporate world for 12 years. And what a different experience that is versus this kind. And even like my solopreneur, very different than what this is. It's team oriented. It's people really caring about your success. The interesting thing is, as a solopreneur, you didn't have, for example, when I own my daycare center, you didn't have other daycare centers wanting to support you and, help you with ideas that help them have success. It's, that whole, it's so unlike WPN. It's so unlike, okay, competition, I don't want you to know what I'm doing because I don't want you to succeed over me. Whereas, with our business model, WPN, it's so, I love that environment. It so works with who I am. And so we just, we come up with our plan, and as you know, as an entrepreneur, you just, at times you have to look at it and say, okay, maybe that's a little too much for me. And maybe, I want to do more. So we're constantly learning and growing and achieving together. It's just really, really exciting.
That's true. That's true. So do you believe in collaboration?
Absolutely. That's the one thing I love about WPN. And I don't know, have you ever met Shannon Gronich? She's also in WPN.
I have not.
Huge collaborator. She's someone you definitely want to reach out to. She is so she owns, she's an event planner, marketing strategist, and also the woman known as the woman who owns the $1 Million Rolodex. We've been telling her, okay, $1 million contact list. So she produces the Business Acceleration Summit here in the Melbourne area. And she also has a program where she helps people get thousands in free publicity for their business. So she's definitely someone, I can send you her contact info if you'd like.
Would you?
So she's a huge collaborator. And I think, WPN, it's all about co-opetition, collaborating, and cooperating with one another. And that is an environment that I thrive in because that's how I am. Like, even when I was in, my daycare business and also my health and wellness business, I was always willing to share ideas with other people because I think together, like, John Maxwell and Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich, when like-minded come together, and if you have a little issue, and WPN does this on their gold member call, reach out and you'll get great ideas from other people that will make a huge difference in your journey and in your success. So huge. Yes, I am definitely a collaborator. Love to collaborate. And I'm collaborating on a project right now with 2 other people called Entrepreneur Focus. And we're doing events in Miami, Melbourne, Orlando, and Tampa. And part of that is to help other people become entrepreneurs. So I'm excited about that. Very excited about that.
So what would you tell entrepreneurs who are wannabe entrepreneurs who are thinking of going into business? Because you and I both know that even the CPA will tell you that if you don't survive the first 5 years, then you're dead, right? So most people do then, they call it quits because they just can't handle it anymore. And you and I both have gone through that stage where we have thought, maybe this is not for me, let me just go get a job, right? So what do you tell people who are thinking about this and haven't yet thought about it, and so what do you say to them?
So several things. Accountants will always tell you also, what you said is very, very true because it's factual. They'll also tell you that it's actually a good idea to have your own business if that's something you're interested in because you can write off expenses that you can't as an employee.
Okay.
What I always coach people in is, find something that really aligns with who you are. What I offer isn't, I actually have a lot of friends who are in direct sales, maybe they're more into beauty products or health products. I have people I can refer them to if what I'm showing them doesn't really align with them. And what I always say to them is you really have to know why. Your why is key. You really have to know why you want to do this. What do you really like? What's your vision for your future? Vision is huge. So you want to really look at and target how much money do you want to make? How much time do you have? Don't quit your day job. If you're working right now and you're relying on that income, do not quit your job. Let's look at your schedule and let's find some blocks of time, and I'm huge into time blocking. Find these blocks of time where you can do the production activities to help you build your business a little at a time. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? We all know that. So you have to understand to really celebrate every little success you have. You get one customer, woohoo, celebrate that and just keep building one step at a time. And I think about, you know, when my son got married, he got married at the top of a lighthouse. There were 219 stairs we had to climb up. If we thought about those 219 stairs, we might have turned around and said, good luck. You're on your own. But we just look one step at a time. You can't look at the whole staircase. So coming up with a really great plan that works for that person, you know, based on the time commitment they have, based on how much money they want to make, based on the vision they have for their future. So we just break it down. But I always say you really want to make sure that you do not quit your first year. Too many people quit really quick. And you really want to stay focused on why you're doing this. And I always ask permission. Is it okay if I, you know, if you're having a struggle and you're having a tough time, is it okay if I remind you of your why? So I always get that permission first, because sometimes, and that's the whole beauty of team orientation, is you have somebody that's going to hold your hand, somebody that's going to help you through those rough times. It's like WPM, where we're lifting that person up the mountain, right? And so I say the first thing, you want to find something that aligns with who you are, that you're really excited and that you're willing to put in what it takes to be successful. And then the next piece is, why do you want to do this? What do you see for your future, your family's future? Let's really get down to 7 levels to the point where you feel like you're going to cry, or you do cry. Like I cried when I really got to the bottom of mine. And then, okay, let's look at your schedule. Let's make a game plan for the time you have and the money you want to make. And then let's evaluate. And what I do is I coach people, what's your 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plan? And then, okay, let's take that 1 year plan and break them down into blocks of 90 days. And then we're going to focus on that first 90 days, and we're going to break that down to weeks and days. And then okay, this is the plan. This is what I'm going to do. Okay, block that time out in your schedule so that you can actually do the things you need to do to little by little build up your fortune. I don't know. Have you ever heard of Jim Rohn?
Yes.
Okay. So he has a saying, you know, you want to work full-time at your job and part-time on your fortune, so that ultimately your part-time fortune becomes your full-time job. And so I always share that with others. So you just really have to stay focused on why you're doing what you're doing, what you want to get out of it, and what you have to do as well. That's what I always tell people.
Well, that's awesome, because see, the thing is, people love to give up, because when the going gets harder, people just give up. This is not for me. And that happens to me all the time as well, because I'm still in my 2nd year of entrepreneurship, you know, and it gets to a point where sometimes you just want to break down and cry, you know, and that happens. So it's okay. You know, I tell people it's okay. But the thing is, you know, keep at it. Because the minute you stop is like you stop living. But this way, it stretches you. It allows you to grow. It allows you to become the person that you're going to go to. I mean, I tell people, you know, if you were a diamond, you would have to go under a lot of pressure. You are granite and just a speck of dust. But if you went under the pressure, then you would come out as a diamond, right? And that's what it is. So I lost your voice.
What's that again?
So I didn't hear you. So you said absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. I love that analogy about the diamond. That's really, really great.
So I you know, and I understand that, you know, you're helping a lot of people who are trying to become entrepreneurs. So how do you find these people?
So really, it's about networking. It's about networking and relationship development. And really, you know, building that relationship with that person. And just through conversation, a lot of times it'll come up that, you know, they're looking for something, or, you know, they're not happy with what they're doing, or they need to make more money. And so I'll often, and sometimes I do cold calling too. And I also have a program because what our company aligns very well with people in the real estate industry. And we have a lot of people who are realtors, title company, they work in a title company, or they own a title company, and those are mortgage brokers. So some of my closest friends at the top are in real estate, title company, and mortgage as well, because it's just a great combination. And so I reach out to them. I have a program called the Realtor Advantage, and this business has been proven to help people increase repeat and referral business, as well as level up their customer satisfaction and customer service, and it helps them create a retirement income. A lot of people in that industry are do not have a retirement income, so you know that's really how. And then this entrepreneur focus is another way. Speaking is a great way as well to attract people to you, because it's really about working within the law of attraction as well. So that's all part of my day.
I like the way you're spending your day. Anything else?
And it has to be people. I love people. And I remember probably 6-7 years ago reading Stephen Covey's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And in the beginning, one of the things he talked about is so many people just go to work, do their job, come home. You know, if they have a family, they, you know, have dinner, play with the kids go to bed, they wake up again, and they never really figure out what they're passionate about, you know, what their, you know, purpose is, other than just living and working and you know, going day to day. And I thought, and I still was in the health and wellness industry at the time, but I just started in this company that I have now. And I thought, wow, that's really interesting. I never sat down to think about what I'm passionate about. I remember when I was probably about a couple years into my health and wellness business, that was my first time I felt so passionate about what I did. But also with this other company, I was very passionate. But why? I thought, well, why? They're two very different things, right? Why do I feel that way? And after some contemplation, what I realized was everything I do is involved with people. I love people. I love helping people, and I love adding value to their lives. And so that's what really gets me all excited each and every day when I start my day. So it's about people. It's about adding value to their lives, which is why I was really connected with John, because that's what he does every day. Who did I add value to? And so that's another reason why I wanted to be on your show. I really appreciate the opportunity to, you know, add value in some way to people's lives. And the other thing I do tell people that I work with is you really want to be in a constant, never-ending improvement, constant state of growth. That's why I love John's 15 invaluable laws of growth, because if we're not growing, we are dying.
It's true. That's what he says. And he's a great teacher.
He is an amazing teacher. Amazing teacher. Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for instilling these words of wisdom into our lives.
You are so welcome. May I just say one more thing?
Sure.
One thing. You probably are familiar with Tony Robbins, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I recently, end of last year, went to his Unleash the Power Within and his Date with Destiny and his Business Mastery. And he talks about, you know, 6 human needs. There are 4 basic, but the 2 spiritual needs are growth and contribution. And that is definitely, I feel, you know, I'm really in that stage in my life. I shared with you that I adopted my daughter from foster care. So it always bothered me, the number of children who never get adopted, and the number of young people who then age out of foster care and they have no support whatsoever. So one of my huge contributions, and one of the reasons that I do my business, is I've assembled a leadership team, and we're creating Lift Up Young Lives. And we are going to launch it in August. And it's a program, a 15-week program, 2 different levels. So it's like 2 semesters of college, if you will. And we teach them living and social skills, financial responsibility, spiritual empowerment, and leadership. And so at the end of level 1, they're, when they graduate, they actually are awarded a laptop computer, because we really encourage them to go to college, or even, a trade school like HVAC.
Yes.
But they're going to need that, right?
Yes.
They don't have the money for that. After level 2, they actually get a really good used car. And that helps to transition them into adulthood, because where I live, unlike probably where you live, we don't have the greatest, transportation system to get people from where they want to go, unless it's a main road.
Yes.
So now they'll be able to really, transition into adult living. And this is all, they'll also be assigned a mentor as well. So contribution is really important for each of us to find just one, even if it's one little way where we go to a soup kitchen, or, a special needs school, anything that touches our hearts and lives, a retirement home, an assisted living facility, and we do something to make somebody happy and add value to their lives. So I encourage everyone that is going to listen to your program, think about one thing, even if it's, you're real busy, you're working, you have kids, which you and I know, we raised our kids, we both had quite a few children, can be a little difficult to squeeze that in. We used to bring our kids. Like, we'd bring them to the soup kitchen, they would help, when they were old enough. And they walked out, thank you so much for making us do that, because of course we had to make them do it, and they were so happy. It added happiness to them, which I feel when you give back, you get so much more. So much more. So that would be the last thing I want to leave with your listeners.
So let me ask you this. Now that you have segued into this new thing, how did you get this idea, and who is your partner?
Okay, so I feel like God plants seeds in our heart. So for example, I knew for 10 years that I wanted to adopt a child someday. We were starting to have our second and third children, and I really feel God planted that seed in my heart. And then things lined up where we were at church one day, and we had been in our church probably a good 12 years at the time. There was a little flyer with a little boy with tears rolling down his face saying, maybe someday, ... And when you flip the other side over, he's smiling, and he's like, I'll get a forever family. And it was for an adoption agency in our area. And that just brought it up again. And so my husband and I then went through and we adopted our daughter. And it always bothered me that we wanted to adopt 2 kids, but it just worked out when we got our daughter. And it always bothered me. I'm like, what can I do to help these teens aging out of foster care who've never been adopted? And so I just started speaking that vision, and I got lined up program about an hour and a half north of here. And so I worked in that program for 3 sessions. And then when I moved down here, I was like, okay, I really want to do something like that. There was nothing like that here. And so through my church was sponsoring us and hosting us. I just, I have members of our church and members of the community because I network so much. And I just brought this team together. We have 13 on our board, and then we have quite a few others who are going to be teachers and mentors. And then we have some people who just come in and teach a class on something they're an expert at. So that, just speaking your vision. Vision, I think, is so important. Vision for yourself, your family, your community, and, the mark you want to leave on the world. And it's, a lot of times we don't think of these things, right? Some of this stuff I didn't think of until I was older, right? So I love sharing this message with people, and I did that in my book. It was Purpose, Passion, and Vision, and that was through WPN, one of the Journey to the Stages, number 6. And when I speak, I love to speak about that, because sometimes, like, when I grew up, nobody spoke about residual income, which is the business that I coach people in. That's where you do something once, help somebody get their cell phone service, and then you're paid for the life of that customer. I never knew about that, right? I learned to go to school, go to work, and you work 40, 50 years, but as you and I know, you get laid off. We have so many friends in their 50s, almost 60s, laid off. That's what happened to my friend who's in my business. She's my business partner. At 62, she's laid off. Then it's difficult to get a job. And so I love entrepreneurship because it puts you in the driver's seat. You have the choice to decide what you want in your life. But yes, like you say, and like we talked about, you have to just keep going at it. I mean, thank God the Wright brothers, Thomas Edison never quit, right? Or we'd be sitting in the dark at night, right? Or we wouldn't be able to go on. I think I noticed that you love to travel, right?
Yes, I do.
Oh, it'd be too difficult. You might have to get on a ship to go, but it's just
Or a camel.
those or a camel, exactly. I've never ridden a camel. I always wanted to ride a camel.
One day you will. One day you will. Like you said.
I love camel too. That's right. You speak it. You keep focus on your vision, and that's what I think entrepreneurs need to remember. You have to stay focused on your vision, but don't go it alone. That's what I love about WPN. We have the mastermind every single month. You don't have to go it alone. Find people that you align with who will help you along your way. Some people try to do things on their own, and that's difficult. Some people can, but a lot of people can't. You just have to keep on, figuring out what might work a little better.
Well, that's awesome. So I love the piece about you helping the little kids, the young kids. They're not little anymore, but the fact that they're growing up and, they need guidance. That's the biggest thing because we need that a lot. And so that's an awesome, awesome value added thing. Maybe it's going to take fire and grow so that everybody can help everybody else. And I keep that vision in mind. Thank you so much for your time. For those people who are watching us, please like us, share this video, and like us and subscribe to my channel, Munira's Musings. And let's take it from here. You have an idea, you have a group that's already helping. Maybe we can start that in other places in Florida and bring it all over the nation because we need something like that.
That is our plan. Yeah, that is our plan. Our plan, our county is known as the largest county in Florida. And so we're starting in the south part of the county, and the plan is to go up into the northern part of the county as well. So that is our plan, to do that, to be able to help others to do that as well, because there are so many kids out there across this whole country that need that, and really in the world. It's not just the U.S., it's the world that need that.
Like you said, it starts with one small vision and, it takes time to grow, but it could become a great vision, So appreciate your time. I'm very humbled that you shared the value and instilled a lot of value into our lives. And thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Munira. Have a beautiful day, and I'm going to subscribe to your channel, okay?
Thank you.